on. Hello, everybody joining us here on the virtual world. My name is Diana Kay. We're going to start shortly in a couple minutes. We're going to wait for a few more folks to join in. But I'm also, before starting, I want to make sure those online are being able to listen to me and see me correctly. So thumbs up if you can hear me fine. Okay, thanks, Erin. Okay, perfect. And we are still testing the technology, making sure that we can do in person, hybrid in person and virtually. So yeah, so we'll wait a couple more minutes and then we shall start. Right, thanks again for those who are joining us here virtually. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and start. Well, let's just do this officially. So I would appreciate any of you guys online if you can turn on your cameras. It's always good to put a face to whoever is attending. So if you're able, please do so. That would be fantastic. Oh, thank you, Erin. That's fantastic. This is our first student success workshop for our undergraduate students for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Our topic today is Mason community. And it's not only about Mason community, but of course about our college as well. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences. Here in the room, I'm gonna try to, move the camera around. I'm going to show you our participants here. So on one side we have.
My name is Jack. Nice to meet you.
And Jack is one of our peer student success mentors. Yep. And on the other side, we have one of our participants. Can you let us know your name? And your major?
Hello, my name is Kayla. Do you say major?
Major, yes.
I'm majoring in social justice and human rights.
All right, well, welcome. Similarly, our folks online, if you don't mind letting us know your name, your major, and just a quick introduction here. So I'm gonna start with, in no particular order, just the ones I see on my top left corner and then bottom down. Erin McSherry.
Hi, good morning. I'm Erin
Good
McSherry.
morning.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm the assistant dean for student success here in chess and also one of the instructors of our chess 101 class. My undergrad major was sociology, if that helps. And I see two of my students are here. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Calix.
Yay, awesome, fantastic. So, Michelle, would you mind telling us your name and your major?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm a freshman and I'm psychology major.
Psychology?
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, welcome. Next, we have Jillian. Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I'm a sophomore and I'm a criminology major.
All right, welcome, Jillian. And we have Sophia.
Hi, you can hear me?
We can hear you.
My name is Sophia. I'm a freshman and I'm majoring in global affairs.
All right, I like this. We have a little bit of different majors here. Very interesting. We can have a very, diverse conversation here about our majors. So I have a little presentation to share here with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them on the chat or just speak up and let us know what questions you have. For this workshop in particular, we're all going to talk. We're going to share our experiences. We are going to, talk about Mason community, and a community is based on all of us, right? So everybody's going to have the opportunity to pitch in a little bit here and learn all the different things that are part of our Mason community and our chess community. All right, so, and as always, I said before a presentation, my apologies if I have technology issues. There's always something that I am not looking at. So if something blows off or something happens, I apologize in advance. But hopefully that's not gonna be the case. All right, so we're gonna talk our Mason community today. Let me see if I can bring the chat because I don't see anybody. Oh, I know what I should be doing. I'm supposed to minimize this, right? There you go. I see a little bit here. Okay. So in case you have questions and I'm not answering the questions, I would say the best thing to do is just speak up. All right. Okay. So here we go. Today, where is my mouse? Seriously, it ran away. Oh, it's here. I can see it. Oh, finally, you're here. Okay, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. It looks like a seriously big agenda, but we're going to talk about these topics kind of quickly. It's more about your experiences, what you have been in contact with the different opportunities to get involved here at Mason. So we're going to talk about, first of all, why do we need to think about the Mason community, right? Why it's so important? Specifically about the sense of belonging, right? Why is this something that is relevant for our experience as a student?
Diana?
Yes.
Sorry, this is Erin. Should we be seeing slides?
What's that?
Should we be seeing slides?
I think we should. And of course, as I said, not the best with technology, of course. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's what I was looking for. Can everybody see this? Thank you. All right. So yeah, we're not missing much so far, but we're going to be looking into, first of all, in order for us to get connected with people here at Mason, with students, with staff, with different groups, we need to know what you enjoy doing, right? I mean, if you're going to start from scratch thinking, okay, I want to get involved with things, but what? The best thing to do is start thinking about what you enjoy doing. Then we have different strategies for you to get involved once you figure this part out, right? So things such as joining or starting a club. We are very interested in our culture, equity, empowerment as a society, right? So this is actually a very wonderful way to, do something different, something important for the community, but at the same time, becoming part of that Mason community. Thinking about community service, volunteering, you can also enhance your community involvement with your academic department. So thinking about your major, what's happening in your department, we're gonna look into that a little bit. Campus events, of course, you are not gonna be missing campus events if you want to be part of the Mason community. Something else that is super valuable, not only as getting involved with the community, but to gain different, experience in different areas, getting a job on campus, student involvement, wonderful opportunities studying abroad, and basically that's what we're going to be covering today. So lots of interesting things. Some of you might already have been involved, and I hope so, with some of these organizations, activities, things taking place on Mason. So I think we already talked a little bit about this one. We're a small group, so I think I skipped this one. But thinking about that statement that I mentioned before, what do you enjoy doing? What kind of hobbies or activities you really, really like? Doesn't have to be specifically about what we do here at Mason as students, but overall as an individual. So I'm gonna start, I guess, here. So what do I enjoy doing? That's a great question. I never think about that. I enjoy spending time with my kids. I love animals. So I have lots of animals. Well, I have several animals in my house, but I don't have a dog. I would like to have a dog. So I enjoy animals and spending time with my family. So I'm gonna turn it around here for our attendees in person. We have another person here coming. So tell us a little bit. I think we can see your face. What do you like to do? What do you enjoy doing?
Okay, something I enjoy doing is watching movies with my family, meeting new people, and I also like to learn sign language.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So are you able to communicate in sign language already, or just in the process?
I did sign language in high school,
Okay,
so I still just need to just keep my practice skills up.
yeah, you have to keep practicing. All right, thank you, Kaylin. We have another our peer student mentors joining us. So just if you don't mind telling us your name, your major, and what you enjoy doing.
My name is Vera. My major is English. I like spending time with family and just DIY learning things around the house.
Doing things around the house. That's good. Keeping the house nice and entertaining is good. All right.
Hello, everyone. So name and major name.
Well, in this case, your
Yeah.
hobbies and activities. things like that.
So for hobbies, I like to go on hikes and spend time with my family. I also like cooking a lot.
You
Cooking's
like
pretty fun.
cooking?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
like to
Didn't
cook.
think you were into cooking.
Oh, I like to.
Really? Okay, that's good.
And if anything else, probably if I have the chance, I would really like to go camping.
Go camping.
Mhm.
Okay. That's definitely something nice. Lots of equipment and things like that, but it's very entertaining. All right, and our folks online. So names that I see here. Let's, of course, Erin, you're always like the first one here on next on the screen. So what are your hobbies? What do you like to do?
I like to, so same as you, Diana, I enjoy spending time with my kids, my family. I love to read and I enjoy playing softball.
Ah, really? Ooh,
Not very good at
interesting.
it, but I like to do it nonetheless.
Doesn't matter, right? You can always improve those skills for sure. All right. Michelle, what are your hobbies? What do you like doing?
I like to read. I like to cook. I like to spend time with my friends, and I guess like watch movies, watch new shows, stuff like that.
Yeah, just having fun with different things. Great. Jillian.
I like to bake, do yoga, travel.
It seems that cooking, baking is something, it's something that we enjoy really doing here. My gosh, I am okay cooking and baking, but I get stressed out cooking because I make a mess at home, and then I'm always afraid that it's not gonna turn out well. So it wouldn't be a hobby. It's more like a trauma working on those things. Sophia, so tell us a little bit about what you like to do.
I like to read. I like fashion and just like spending time with friends.
All right. So different things. I love fashion too. But it's very important, that component of the social part, right? The spending time with others, with your family, with your friends, with the community for sure. So thinking about Mason, being a student, being part of the community. So why it's important, right? To feel this way. So actually, sense of belonging is a very big thing in student success. For a student to be successful, you really need to feel engaged, right? You need to feel like you belong at Mason, right? You're part of a community, that the community supports you, elevates you, and at the same time, you feel like, hey, I can give something back to the community. So there are lots of studies and research saying when you feel connected with the place you are part of, it's definitely going to help you to feel more successful, right? And there is studies saying that you actually are less stressed out and it actually improves your mental health. So for sure, it's something that we all should do, right? And this is not only obviously at Mason, but any place where you are part of, where you're working, anywhere, you need to feel like you belong to that place. So it's important. How do we do that here at Mason? So there's so many things that we can do. I mentioned some already, but student organizations, events here. Something that I want to also highlight right now is that for the first time in, 3 semesters, we're able again to be back here on campus. And if you had the opportunity to be here in person, it feels amazing. You really feel that connection with other students and like it's really a good, place, very alive. So that makes you feel like you're definitely part of this. You make friends, you can build your professional network, right? We have a lot of fun, but we also have to be responsible with our future, get the good grades and think about our professional opportunities, right? But having fun is super, super important. So if you are a little bit shy and you're only thinking about your academics and your studies, that is a great thing, but you also need to feel about or think about this different things that you're doing in order to stay connected with your family, your Mason community, right? So this is something that I want you to think for a little bit. And if you have the opportunity to explore later on, think about in very specific ways, those things that you like doing. For all of us participants, I will be sending this presentation to you. I have some links in the notes for the presentation so you can kind of see the different, when I talk about a particular office or go in and maybe look into, in this case, this is called the Holland Code. You can find out this information below in the notes. But this one is telling us, okay, there are actually categories where you can start thinking about what I like to do and how can I kind of correlate that to something that I could do as part of, being part of the community. So this is just like a bunch of questions, you respond them, and then they tell you, you might be a doer or a thinker or a helper, right? So there are 6 different categories. But what is useful is that they tell you, perhaps if you are a very social individual, you are into the helpers category, for example. And so things like maybe thinking about joining a sorority or a fraternity or becoming an ambassador. Those are things that will elevate those things that you enjoy doing. Maybe you're a little bit shy and you're not much into, being outgoing and talking with others, but you're very organized. Then you can think about maybe something like the student government or a very specific topic related to your major and join a club. Let's say you are in English, so you can join maybe an English club or a literature club, right? Is not so much as part of like the social, the helpers, right? So think about this for a moment. If you haven't taken this Holland Code, that's okay. You can do it some other time, but where do you see yourself in any of these categories? Just for a moment. I would say in my case, I can be, I don't know, I think I'm a little bit in between social and artistic, but I think my third one is realistic. I think I always go either social first and then artistic and then realistic. So yeah, think about that and then see how you can fit those things that you like to do with available opportunities here at Mason. So this one is, the most obvious option, join a club, right? I like to also mention here that it's also a possibility to start a club. You don't have to, you can look for different opportunities, but sometimes you're not going to find the right group to fit in. Well, why not start in your own club, right? So I want to hear a little bit about, so far, the participants here, have you or are you part of a particular organization or a club? Anything that is Mason related in this case. So you can see some numbers here. There are 289 registered student organizations. So there's a lot going on. So I'm curious to hear about your experiences so far with any of these clubs. Can anybody share a little bit about your experience, if you have one? Yes.
So I've been a part of a few clubs here at Mason. I was part of the powerlifting club, and it was pretty fun. We'd go out to Manassas and we would go to a gym called The Shop. And it was pretty interesting. And then I ended up joining ROTC and that kind of conflict with that. But then, you know, I found time and I found ways to make time for other clubs because I do ROTC all the time.
Well, yeah.
So I joined the Runners Club here. It's a really good club. Just everyone's own pace. Everyone just goes out to have fun.
Okay.
So you just get to meet a lot of people and a lot of people with different experiences, and everyone's usually always really welcoming.
Yes.
So with the few clubs I have interacted with, everyone's always there to help people.
That's great. And as you said before, you like outdoor stuff, right? And doing things in nature and so forth. So that's one way to figure out, okay, so maybe doing these activities that are outdoors, physical stuff, you enjoy it, but at the same time, you get to know people, right? Which is great. Anybody from our virtual attendees would like to share something? Or if you haven't been part of anything, one thing that you might like to join someday. Don't be shy. I guess we're a little bit shy. That's okay. Think about it. Look into these numbers here at the front. 45 fraternity and sorority lives, different organizations, 34 club sports, campus-wide organizations, university life, 46 different groups. I'm also thinking, this is very big, right? Academic departments, you're part of an academic department. So there are also specific organizations, particularly about your major there. So where can we find all these things? So if you are new to this, hopefully you are not, I'm hoping that you're already familiar with Mason 365. This is the place where you are going to be able to find all these things. I got these numbers actually from that particular website. So thumbs up if you know and have explored Mason 360 before. So lots of thumbs up here, yes, of course. Yeah, that's the place. You can find that thing that you are very interested in and just look what's available there. And it's amazing. You can find basically anything there, so it's good. But if you're very specific and you definitely don't find anything that fits what you like to do, I'm not sure if there are any, baking or cooking shows, not shows, I'm thinking about shows, organizations. But if there aren't any, why not thinking about creating your own, right? Would be a good thing to do. Specific to chess, our college, right? College of Humanities and Social Sciences, we actually have a very amazing honor society, and it's the Pi Gamma Mu International Honor Society. So for each one of the slides that I'm going to be presenting, I'm going to, throw the little advertisement here for things that we do in the college, right? So this one, have you thought about being part of an honor society? We're all part of social sciences here, right? And humanities, but explore this one. It's a very wonderful community. And actually one of our academic advisors is kind of the coordinators for the chapter here at Mason. So maybe that's something that might be interesting to you guys. What else can we do in order to participate or feel like we belong to Mason? Of course, if I find my mouse, always disappears. Where did you go? I'm looking for it. Wait a minute, where did you go? Seriously, it ran away again. Okay, enter. I hope I'm not blocked. Sorry about the glitch. I cannot find my mouse. Am I stuck? Sorry about that. I think I'm actually stuck here. I'm sorry. Okay. Super sorry, guys. Okay, maybe it's you try to play the next slide. For some reason, it's not letting me do anything. Well, you did something. That's good.
Mhm. Yeah.
What is going on with my computer?
There we go.
Oh, you brought it back to life. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so continuing with our presentation. I'm so sorry. At least I warn you. I let you know. Computers are not my thing. All right, so culture, equity, empowerment. These are values. These are so important statements in things that we need to keep in mind, not only as part of being in the Mason community, but being as part of our society, right? So why not looking into opportunities for advocacy to promote equity, inclusion? So one way to do this, to help, cross-cultural engagement, things like this. We have a great office here on campus, and it's called the Center for Culture, Equity, and Empowerment. It's a long name, right? CCEE. And there are opportunities for you to explore ways to get to know people, but at the same time, do something for the well-being of our society. We have, or they have, two big categories for different activities that you can join. One of them is the student engagement for racial justice, and they also have the coalition building and diversity education environment. Lots of words, so that's why we need the acronyms. But there are wonderful opportunities here. I am curious if you guys have been involved with any of these particular activities to promote equity, inclusion, empowering culture. No, nobody? Not yet? Not yet. Okay, and that's okay. Again, this is the opportunity to figure out these things, right? To realize, okay, if we are into social justice, if we are thinking about helping society, looking into all these different conflicts and difficulties taking place in our current society, these are opportunities for you to look into. Engaging in racial justice activities. You can also look into the diversity that we have here on campus. The majority of us, we come from different backgrounds. I myself am from Colombia, for example, from South America. And back before, when the Center for Culture, Equity, and Empowerment was called a different way, they were working with dreamers, for example. And I had the opportunity to help out a little bit with working with students who are very committed to their education, but unfortunately they don't have the documentation necessary to do all these things. It's a very, very unfortunate thing in this case, but you can help a little bit. You can help them feel welcome, be part of the community. So that made me feel like really, really connected with my actual fellow people from some of the countries that are part of South America. So that was a really good thing. Think about that for a moment. What would be a social or empowering cross-cultural thing that might be appealing to you, or that you would think, okay, maybe someday I would like to help a little bit. in this regard. So again, links for all these things are below in the notes for the presentation. So I'm not gonna put all those links here because you're not gonna click on them, but I will provide those pieces of information for you guys. Participate in community service and volunteering. My gosh, that's super, super big, right? There are places where you can actively do some community service and volunteering here within Mason. Again, we have a wonderful office, and that one is called Social Action and Integrative Learning. So this office provides, they can give you referrals, they can guide you or point you out to a place where they can see those interests, right? What you like to do, what's valuable to you, and match it with a particular community service or volunteering opportunity that you might feel like, okay, I like this. This is something that might make me feel really, really proud of. Along the way, you're not doing that alone. So you will be able to meet people, right? Friends, just make connections, things like that. So they do so many different things here. We're talking about they look into tutoring local children, they help building homes, they clean up parks, things like that. So it depends on what you feel meaningful. You can look into these opportunities. So this is a good way to do it. The Social Action and Integrative Learning office, SAIL, that's actually part of our chess community. So it's definitely social sciences, social action. Have you participated or volunteering before in any social or community service? You have? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
So yeah, so through RTC, there's a lot of volunteer events that you can work. And so one of them just recently was like our day of service for 9/11. I think it was actually on the 10th. But there was just a bunch of vendors out that would come and you could just help set up. But I know throughout the whole day, there was a bunch of different events like campus cleanup or stuff like that that you can do. I know that RTC also does color guard for events as well. But there's a bunch out here. I know you can volunteer with the greenhouse. You can volunteer. I know, I believe, I forgot the name of it, but you can work with the beehives at Mason as well.
Oh, yes.
That's pretty cool. But the SAIL program and then Mason Gives Back offers a lot of things too.
Yeah.
So I'd highly encourage you to look at those things because it gives you more of an opportunity to meet with people, but it can also give you other connections as well, just not like friends per se, like someone down the line who could be a mentor.
Yes. Yeah. And also thinking about what can be beneficial in terms of your future career, right? So all these things, you can put them in your resume. You can talk about this once you are, interviewing for that job that you really want. We want to see those things, what you can do for your community, how you have been in touch with these types of activities in the past. So it's like a win-win situation here, right? You help, you feel, and actually helping the community through community service and volunteering is very altruistic, and you feel really, really, fulfilled in that sense. So it's definitely an opportunity to feel good, help others, help your resume, your expertise, and make friends. For sure, it's something that we should all be looking into. So that's one way to do it. Another one, and this one is very, very important. Sometimes we don't think about in terms of getting to know people and feeling more connected, not thinking about your specific academic department, right? So your major, you're thinking, oh yeah, that's academics, right? But there are also multiple opportunities for you to get engaged with your department. So this here is, the different departments that are part of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. So you can see yours, hopefully is there, your major, but each one of these departments, the easiest way is There are two ways to do it. One is you can contact your academic advisor from your academic department, and that's your point of contact to get to know, or get referrals to, okay, where else can I go to maybe find out where I can be part of a research group, where I can do some volunteering, some community activities as well. But also online, right? We're all participating in online activities. Go to the website for your major. Most of the websites for our majors, they're structured in a very similar way. So when you go to one of the websites, you're going to find out two sections. One is current undergraduates, another one is events. So go to one of the websites, and what you're going to see is within the current undergraduates, you're going to see events, workshops as well. They also have links for different clubs and organizations. I was recently looking, exploring the website for Criminology Law and Society, and they actually have very specific groups there that you can just click, check, send an email, and start working and getting in touch with them. So a lot of these things is the opportunities are out there, but you have to, take the effort, be brave, and just click contact the community or the group and say, I would like to be part of it. I would like to help a little bit. Events, this is another one that is super, super key, right? Very specific, very tailored to your particular major. So there can be events about recruiting for different job opportunities, but there's also for participating in student activities specific for your major. So this is something that would be certainly super, super key. I'm gonna go quickly to one of those websites. So let's see if I don't break anything, of course, because it might happen. So let's go to Criminology Law and Society for us, for Mason. And so again, our websites are very, very similarly structured. So I'm gonna put this here. So you're gonna find always the events side here, and then current undergraduates at the bottom. So if I go to events, you're gonna be able to see things that are available there. So let's see what they have. Not sure what they have in criminology. I'm so sorry, don't go away. My mouse is gone. Oh, here you are. So not much going on in terms of events for our folks over Criminology Law and Society, but for student life, you look at here, current undergraduates, student law life, and we can see different things that they have available here, right? They have Criminology Law and Society student organizations, so they're very specific. So I believe there's one student here from Criminology Law and Society in this group here, but you can see these things, right? We do have one person here. So this is something that you can look into, all the different organizations, and look into what's available there. This is specific to your major there. So I definitely invite you to look into those things. If you definitely don't want to go that route, talk to your academic advisor, figure out, if you don't know that, who your academic advisor is, and say, hey, I want to do something. I want to be part of an activity or a group. And your advisor should be able to provide that referral for you. Going back to Mason 360, so attend campus events. Perhaps you are very busy, right? You might be, working full time. You definitely don't have the time to commit to, an organization where you have to be an active participant on a weekly basis. This might be too much for you, and that's okay. But you can also participate in one-time type of events on campus, right? So now that we're back here in person, we have events. That's what we're, seeing here happening a lot. Every day, something is happening here. It can be from another workshop to a particular group meeting, or a presentation, or maybe some, artistic presentations, music, all these things, right? So if you have the opportunity to plan ahead and say, okay, I see this one, which is in 2 weeks. I love it. I'm going to participate. That's great. But let's say you don't have that time. Sporadically, you find out that today you have the afternoon off. Oh, I might be able to do something with my afternoon off. So you can go to Mason 360 and actually explore those things. So when you go there, you can see all these amazing events. So what's happening right now, what's happening today. So let's see, there's an active leaders activity taking place today. So there's an information session for study abroad in London. So that's cool. Well, it's happening right now. So not so cool because I want you to stay here until 11. But, oh gosh, this one is good. Sleep better. This definitely would be something that might be interesting for all of us. So this is where you can find those things every day. And look what's happening today. All these things is just for today. Study abroad for Spain. I mean, so many things, mindful moments. Those are things that you can find it whenever you're available and say, okay, today I can go somewhere and spend a couple hours meeting people and doing something nice. So those are things that you should be doing. Now, I want to ask my quiet students, virtual students here, tell me one activity that you have attended so far this semester. Have you been to any of our, Welcome to Mason activities, for example? Perhaps Sophia or Michelle, Jillian can share one of your experiences.
I went to the chess welcome thing that happened outside where like you taught whatever you like did like the tie-dye t-shirts and like that was, and like I was actually able to like meet my advisor in person, which was really nice.
That's great. Yeah. Did you get a t-shirt? Did you get a t-shirt?
I did.
And dye it?
I did.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I went there midway through the event and I couldn't get my t-shirt, but it was such a fun event. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Any other activities?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I also went to the chess block party thing, and then I think the most recent event I went to the headphone disco thing, and then I went to,
you went to that one too?
Yeah, and then I think yesterday I went to this dance workshop, and I think that's what I've been doing recently.
There you go. And those are actually just so much fun. Did you get to meet people, talk to anybody there?
Yeah, I did get to meet some.
You did? Yeah, sorry, just tell us a little bit.
I also went to the chess welcome and the headphone disco.
Yeah.
Thing. What else? There was something before that. I can't think of it at the moment, but I also went something before that.
Okay, good. So I like that you guys are staying involved and are attending things. What we have here is events, right? So find something that is interesting and explore your opportunities, your interests, right? It's something that definitely can give you that awesome exposure to things that you might not be familiar with at the same time. All right, trying to find my mouse. Seriously, I think it's a matter of my computer disappearing here. Let me see, or it's just thinking. So sorry. Where is the mouse? I guess I just either move it too much. Come on. Or maybe it's just thinking. Maybe it needs the magical touch of Jack here. Just touch the mouse for a moment and see if it works.
Right here.
You found it?
Yeah, I just pressed this one.
Thank you so much. There it is. Okay, let's continue. What else we can do here, right? Oh, this one is good, right? Get a job on campus. You can make a little bit of money. You can get to know a lot of people, expand your skills, most likely, service skills, that sort of thing. But there are different opportunities, right? There are very specific things that you can find here on campus for employment, right? There's so many different options. You will most likely find part-time options. The idea is that you're a student, right? And so you need to, stay connected with your classes and academics, but also work a little bit of a part-time, right? So there are part-time opportunities. You can do that with I believe some of the vendors here on Mason, but also with different, offices here. All the folks doing orientation, they hire students to help with, orientation assistance, all those different things that can help other, welcoming freshmen in, helping the new students coming up. You can look into federal work study as well. Some of these opportunities, if you're an international student, you have to be a little, check with the Office of International Services to make sure that you are okay and can qualify for employment. But for the majority of the cases, if you're a student here, you can certainly apply for these jobs. There's also graduate or teaching assistantships. It doesn't have to be exclusively for graduate students. There's some undergraduate students that can have these opportunities for teaching assistantships. So where would be the place where you find all these things? Can anybody tell me? Yes. Handshake, that is the place, right? So Handshake is part of University Career Services, big place, the hub for all these things. But if you just want to go straight to the point, Handshake, that's where you would find those employment opportunities. So it's like, Indeed or like the Google for finding employment. So you can narrow it down depending on your interest, the requirements for the job, all this sort of things. So you can find all those things. Other ways to find employment here on campus, get to know your academic advisors in your department, right? So for example, our peer mentors here, you guys were able to find this employment opportunity through connecting with an academic advisor, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have been aware of that. So if you're looking for employment opportunities, spread your network, right? And look into what an academic advisor or your professors can help you out. Links for Handshake, you can find that here as well. So the career services offices here. That Handshake, I have the link at the end. But yeah, that is a great way to do it. I would say for most of these employment opportunities, some of them can be involving, but some others are very flexible and can allow you to just, accommodate your study hours, your class time to actually also work here on campus. Anybody of our online students, just thumbs up. Are you working on campus? If you are.
I work at the Johnson Center in the Panera, and I think
Okay.
I applied through Handshake.
Okay. And so are you finding that working part-time and studying, is it something that is manageable to you?
Yeah, so far it's pretty manageable. I kind of just put my availability in, and I work on days that I don't have a lot of classes or a lot of homework, and then days that I have like more than one class, I don't work. So and the shifts aren't super long. It's easier.
Yeah, and I think the advantages being here on campus is that everybody knows that you're a student, right? And so the priority is for you to attend your classes, do your homework, and then your working hours can be around those commitments that you have. So yeah, it's something that is important. And I would say for those of you who are working here on campus, it's just a few hours, right? You're not working really, really very demanding shifts. So it's very, very lenient. And it's a great way to stay on campus. And of course, meeting a lot of people. So we have one last way to stay engaged with the Mason community. And this one is absolutely amazing, and is study abroad. now that we are, becoming a little more, things are more accessible, even though we still have to be cautious with, COVID and all these things, but we can travel abroad now. So opportunities for international study and service as well are lots of opportunities. You can find lots of them. So we have the Global Education Office here at Mason, where you can explore from, academic programs. They can be very short in terms of, winter breaks or in the summer. You can find scholarships and grants. Because it costs money. Of course, is not something that is going to be, you need some support there, right? So in this office, they can actually provide specific options for you to cover your expenses. So this is great. This is a great place to go. I'm gonna go. This is the last website I'm gonna go because it's just so cool. So let's go to GEO Mason. So is this the one? No, it's not. Sorry about that. Let's just go to Study Abroad Mason. And if you see what I'm doing here, there's so many websites. So the best thing to find them is just Google it because I don't know all the websites, but you can find everything in Google, right? So here, look at this. These are opportunities for studying abroad. There is just so much by country. I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And you can find different things by country, by, by topics. You can obviously, let's see this one, Cuba, if you want to go there. So all these opportunities are amazing. And you can see, doesn't get any better than this, in my opinion, to get to know people and to actually have a wonderful new experience. And actually you get credit, right? Because you're studying abroad. So think about this. It's something that you have to plan carefully and see your options and so forth and check your expenses, but it's a great opportunity to expand your experience, your social network, and it's an absolutely great thing to include in your resume. We are in such a diverse world that it's key to demonstrate that you are open to this type of opportunities. So anybody here in our group has been part of a study abroad program? No? Okay, so this is something that definitely is worth exploring, checking it out, and it's something that you can do whether you are, on your second year, third year, give it a chance, give it a try. You can also contact your academic department to inquire for specific opportunities for studying abroad within your your academic department, right? You want to make sure that you're getting the right credits and that they're going to apply to your major because it's an investment, right? So you want to make sure it's good. So many things that we can do here, right? Many opportunities. A lot of these things is you have to, as I said, first think about what is important to you, what's meaningful, what you're willing to, take the effort and go out and do something, right? Then the next step is click, call, contact somebody, right? That's a little bit, intimidating at first, but once you know that this is something that is really meaningful and interesting to you, give it a try, right? Explore and see what these opportunities can take you. Here are some of those main links that we talk about. Important again, Mason 365, absolutely key. We have the link for Handshake here. And if you are not sure where to start with your academic department and your academic advisor, this is the link where you can actually take a look at that. So before we finish this, I think this is it. I do want to ask each one of you, based on this different, options, opportunities, I'm going to stop sharing the screen and come back here. Based on these things that we look at, what caught your interest? What are you feeling like, okay, after this, I might be willing to explore this thing in particular. So I want to hear, let's start this time with our students online. So Again, Michelle, because you're there, right there in the top corner. So what do you think caught your attention from these different options and that you might be comfortable exploring in the future?
You said me, right?
Yes. Yes.
Probably the study abroad program. I feel like it'd be really interesting to go to a different country and get some credit.
Yeah. Any country in particular that you think like, oh, maybe this one might be cool?
Maybe like South Africa. South Africa seems interesting.
All right. So yeah, go to the website, check what particular or specific programs they have in South Africa. And of course, make sure that the credits that you would earn are going to be, definitely that you can utilize with your major. But that's one good thing to do. What about Jillian?
I definitely want to join more clubs and study abroad is really interesting as well because I like to travel. So I feel like I enjoy that.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, explore the study abroad website in Mason 365 to check for those different groups and organizations. It doesn't hurt to just look, right, and explore. And once you find something that really, really caught your attention, maybe take the next step and schedule an appointment and inquire a little bit more about that. Sophia, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable like joining a club, and then I definitely want to do study abroad at like Italy or Korea or basically anywhere.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Another good benefit of study abroad is you can polish some of your language skills, right? If you already have a background in a particular language, maybe find that opportunity where you can practice that language that you are already that you already know a little bit more. Okay, so here for our students here in person, Caleb, tell us what you would like to do based on what you learned today.
Based on what I've learned today, I'm definitely interested in like just exploring more clubs. One of them is American Sign Language.
Yes.
Definitely looking forward to that. And also study abroad is definitely really interesting. And also just looking in like volunteering. So that's something I'll be looking to.
Yeah. So yeah, explore those things. I will be sending this presentation. So all you have to do is find the links there and just click on the link and find out a little bit more. Rita, what do you think? I know Rita, by the way, is a senior. And she's going to be graduating at the end of the semester, which is cool and sad at the same time because we would like to keep you here. But let's, in an imaginary situation, what would you like to explore? Volunteering? And attending different events here. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Volunteering, I think is great. And it's something that is probably just something that is not a lot of commitment, one time, couple times, but it gives you that sense of doing something nice for others. Great. And Jack, I know you already have done a lot, so I don't know if there's anything else that you haven't tried. What else would you do?
Honestly, if I had the opportunity, I'd really like to study abroad. I think that anybody who has that opportunity should take a hold of that.
Yes.
Because where else are you going to be able to do that through the school and, get experience that's going to apply to your degree? I think that's pretty important. Other than that, maybe some of the clubs. There's always there's a bunch of clubs out there. And some of them are really interesting.
Yeah, so. cooking club.
Yeah,
since it seems that it's a thing here. So definitely. So yeah, so many different opportunities, and I hope that with this different options that were presented here, you feel that there's some things that you can explore and go out and try. All this at the end is part of our Mason experience. The chess experience is where you can feel that sense of belonging. And those experiences will be basically part of your entire life. So I definitely invite you to do that. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me here. And I apologize, I forgot to mention that this session is being recorded. So let me know if you have any additional questions, if you want a referral or a particular or very specific connection for one of these things that you're interested. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this weekend. Wonderful weather. This is my type of weather. I love it. Crisp and nice and not hot and you're not sweating. So go ahead and enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us here and you have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us here in person. We were expecting more students in person, but you know, it's Friday, so that's sometimes the case that you're a little bit, you know, lazy and you don't want to join things. But yeah, let me give you, if we can get some brochures. I have some brochures there, so you can have them. And I will send you the presentation. If you want to grab some snacks and some water, go ahead and do that. You gotta get going. Yes, okay. So yeah, just wait for my email. Thank you so much for participating. It was great. Thank you. And yeah, you have class today or you're done? Okay. All right. So yeah. Oh, go, please go ahead and do that. Oh yeah, no, I really like this to do this. Sometimes we get lots of students, sometimes we don't. But even if it's just a PO class, the conversation is more meaningful. But it's good. That's not good. So yeah, really nice meeting you. And well, you have probably my information, but I can give you my card in case you need anything else. Which just has my email, which you already have probably. So thank you. You know you're going out or you need some help doing that. You got it? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. It's like the license is like this. Okay. Yeah, well, nice meeting you. Have a good day. Thank you. So how are you doing, Lena? How's your lacking? This is old. No. I hear you. I know how
Because
that
my
is.
mom is like at home, so he gets lonely.
Oh,
They're like a very
they're very attached.
and he does, right?
Okay. You have another sibling from home? And just thinking about your timesheet. So were you able to finish the process? Okay, just making sure. I haven't actually looked into it, but I think if everything goes well, you will finally get the paycheck. I got the notification saying that the timesheets are due. So you should be able, if everything went well, to submit your hours. Did you do that already? You did? But you also have to do that in Patriot. You have to submit the hours. You haven't done that? Yeah. I would say that's a great question. Well, you would have a tab in your Patriot web that is for employees. So first of all, look for that to see if it's there. If not, then let me know. Just send me a message. Still, all your hours, whatever hasn't been paid, we will, move them for the next paycheck until you get the whole amount. How are you feeling with the appointments with students? Doing good? Yeah. Sometimes I like just and just kind of shy, some of them. But now that we are entering the actual time when they are supposed to do the worksheets for the modules, so kind of emphasizing that. So you know your modules, you know which modules you need to complete, and I send you that information where the modules are listed. So just making sure that they are starting to complete those modules and work on those. I'm gonna be sending another long email this weekend. Of course, I send lots of emails, just with instructions. Thank you. I'll take care of this in a moment. But sending instructions about what we're doing next. Keeping the connection with the students. Those who have no with that. You did it? Okay, good. And from the take notes, I have a question about happened. Okay. Yes, usually I wish. I know you mentioned that I'm like, really, if you haven't received my email, you can use now. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a little bit more specific type of it's also more implementing them to be building but I'll give you the so I think that's all I have at the moment. Well, I think it's actually 5 minutes. I want to work a little bit here since all my stuff is here. Yeah, it's nice. So let me walk in there.